làm không làm cái gì chán hay giờ
When you cut, please stay.
As a deaf counsellor, I have to say you have to stand up and be assertive of what you need. People don't know that you need to be assertive and say, this is what I need. So this is why it's so great to be here today.
Can I just ask